Man, this is it. Aha, got it. Damn. Hey, hello. We're on a little early. Stream is on. Yeah, Twitch is a good place. Yes. Hello. We got no viewers on, but that's okay. Yeah, I can start here. We got two viewers on. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Yes. We got some viewers on. Not gonna be like 50,000 people, but that's okay. Hello, everyone. Yes. Also, right, chat. Now it is. Hey, Kevin. All right. So we got someone chiming in. The usual audio check, mic check, video check. How do we sound? How do we look? Hello, hello, indeed. Hello, Kevin. Thank you. But first and foremost is for everyone who have tuned in, who have tuning in. This is it. This is the last episode of the fall 2025 semester, and we will be back. Uh, and yeah, we'll be back in spring 2026, January 2026. I think it's like the third week or something. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much to everyone who have been tuning in to Twitch for these classes. Um, really want to say thank you. I had a lot of fun. Another, hard to believe that this semester just kind of felt like it was not only, it was quiet, but it also flew by. One thing I didn't tell a lot of people is, I mentioned a few, is seems like email communication really dropped off like significantly this semester across the board. Usually, like, you wake up, you get 20, 30 messages, but now it's like not even close to that number. So it's definitely a quiet semester, definitely a chill semester, but I still had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And I hope you did too. Today is going to be. I hope today is one of those days that people can chime in and ask questions, uh, because it's going to be about where do you go from here. It's going to be on where do you go from here. What opportunities do you have? Especially, I get this all the time on a weekly basis now. Is a lot of people have been convinced, yeah, I want to get into cybersecurity as a career option. How do I do that? So today is one of those days I'm going to be absolutely thrilled to answer like career questions in cybersecurity, projects that you can do in cybersecurity. Um, I'm going to open. I really want to open it up for people who have questions. I'm going to start off by talking about incident handling, and you'll see why. This is only going to take a few minutes, but this topic of incident handling will lead right into professional development and opportunities that you have. So last week we did forensics. I showed you how to actually recover files that were deleted with RL. So incident handling is not the same as forensics, although it may smell like forensics, sound like forensics, it isn't. Incident handling is much more broader in general. Like forensics is it answered okay, who, what, when, where, why, how. That's it. It's more like concrete. Incident handling is like an incident is something that is usually not good. So an incident is much more broader. It goes from, yeah, you're still dealing with cradle to grave, but you definitely need a lot more technical skills because an incident could be like anything. It's not usually like a crime or something. There's something you may have heard the term incident handling and incident response. Incident response is how to deal with an incident, how to contain an incident. Incident handling is you don't want to bark up the wrong trees. It's more logistics and communications based. Why incident handling is important is you don't want dead end investigation. If you do it wrong, you can actually get into legal issues and cost overruns, and that's not good. Incidents are very, very common. Incidents include, like, oh, a server being down, or a service not available, to a sexual harassment email. Those are all cases of incidents. And the biggest difference is, as I said earlier, is, forensics is who, what, when, where, why, how. And incident handling requires like much more than that. You must be well versed with like many facets of IT because, for example, sometimes in forensic you don't have to deal with certain service like Snowflake or something. In incident handling, you probably need to be well versed with not only with networking but even things like machine learning as well, Uh, Incident handling, the phases are different than uh, forensics. Usually it is go with preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. And yes, I did steal this from the SANS Institute. Many years ago, in 2007, I took a course with the SANS Institute. Now, the SANS Institute, what it is, it's a boot camp. And they offer world class trainings. So go to SANS.org. If you go to SANS.org, is they do cybersecurity trainings, degrees, and resources. I'm an alum. So I took the what they call the 504 Hacker Tool Techniques and Exploits and Incident course. I took that in 2007. It was awesome. It is a 1 week class. It was in person, 9 to 5, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Friday is a half day and it's just a CTF game, with culminating with everything that you've learned. Um, SANS Institute is very well known. It's been around for decades. They do boot camps, like hands-on training, and the people who teach teach at the SANS Institute are like world-class practitioners. So if you want like hands-on boot camp style like learning, SANS Institute is the place. Now you wait a minute. Whoa, you may be wondering like boot camp? Like I know a lot of folks here think of boot camps as like coding boot camps. This is not it. Coding boot camps and like security boot camps are two totally different things. Like coding boot camps were there just to were just there for over were there just people basically for some people to make money. And it is very like okay, you learn about coding and strictly about coding. SANS Institute is still around. This is where the Department of Defense and the government send people to. There you go. That's where a lot of the money comes from. Like the one problem is, and this is a problem with SANS training, is that they're not cheap. So I'm just going to go for the organization. I'm going to go find the course. 504. There it is. The 504 course. Hacker Tools, Techniques, and Incident Handling. Each and every course, most courses at the SANS Institute, if not all, also has a certification tie-in. So if you're going to work for like the Department of Defense, certifications are sometimes necessary, and that is one topic that I do one of many topics I will cover today about certifications. So SANS 504, Hacker Tools and Techniques. Let's go to view course details. 6 day, 38 hours. There's also an online option that you can pick, but I did the online. I can't speak for the online option, but it's the same material. If you are looking for CPEs and credits, you get 38 CPEs. Now the topic has even changed to include AI. And the course changes all the time. So this is what you'll learn, the business takeaways. And some of these items, like first day is going to be on incident response to cyber investigations. These are topics. These are labs. Oh, like a lab is like WordPress log assessment. Well, for the capture the flag game in this security course, like you saw WordPress, but you didn't have to do log assessment, so that's interesting. You even do analyzing malware, which is a 10th lab of this course. Live Windows into investigation, section 2, scanning and enumeration. Um, I think some of you folks may have heard of SMB. You had to detect that in lab number 4, the alarm lab. Oh, network and host scanning with Nmap. Yeah, you did that. The uses of Netcat, Masscan, Nmap, Section 3, password attacks, and exploit frameworks. They use Hashcat. But you did password cracking for the 5th lab. Section 4, web attacks, cross-site scripting, SQL injection, command injection. That should sound eerily familiar, doesn't it? Ooh, this is brand new. Post-exploitation and AI attacks. AI prompt injection, attacking AI system, lateral movement, endpoint security bypass. I didn't get this. I didn't get any of this when I was taking the course. And of course, as I said, capture the flag. So it's actually a 6-day. It looks like it's now a 6-day course, with the final day being a half-day CTF. You do have to bring your own laptops. You do have to bring a laptop. It has to be a Windows or Linux-based machine, and they say Silicon cannot do virtualization. I believe they use a virtual machine still. You do have to have a Windows, an Intel-based system. And here's the Q&A. But what's the cost? So if you want to go to register, the price is $8,780. Back in 2007, I paid like $1,900, but I got a discount because I worked for an educational institution back then. Um, I've heard rumor-wise that SANS is pretty good of giving discounts to people who are students or in the EDU space. Um, and so the base course is $8,000, but if you want to do a certification as well, that does cost extra. I think that's like $400 or $500 or so, is it? Oh, do they have the price here of the certification? This is just the course. There's like no certification. I'm trying to find it. It's like it should be like a couple hundred or like what is it, like $400 or $500 for the certification, and it lasts you for 4 years. After 4 years, you have to renew. So I got my SANS certification in GCIH in 2007, and it expired in 2011. Here it is. The incident. This is what I got: the certified incident handler certification. More certification details. This is DOD 8140 approved. They don't have the cost. So the exam is open books. One exam proctored, 106 question, 106 question multiple choice. You can use your books. It's for 4 hours, and the passing grade is a 69. It's a 69. So this is the exam. And the certification, they will last you, I think, for 4 years. Oh, you are given practice tests as well, which is really cool. So you may be wondering, what is DOD 8140? DOD 8140 is here's just like, for workforce management, for tracking qualification. In other words, training and certification. So I'm going to do a search for 8140 cybersecurity, the certification chart. This, oh my god, this is so heavy. Can you just show me the damn picture? Ah, here it is. Oh, I'm gonna paste this into the chat. So, certification. This one's hard to find. So, if you're thinking about cybersecurity certifications, so SANS GCIH does count. So here are all the baseline certificate. Hello. Here's all the baseline certifications that the Department of Defense approved of. Uh, GCIH should be here. Yep, GCIH is if you're an CSSP analyst. There you go. It's right there. Um, CISSP is very well known. It's very heavy. It's $400 to take. It's like I think it's more than like $500 to take it, but renewal every year, $100. Security Plus, is that on here? Do I see Security Plus? Yep, Security Plus I see right here for level 2. Security Plus, another, okay. So there's a whole alphabet soup of cybersecurity certifications that you can take. So I guess on this topic, let's start off with cybersecurity certifications. Do they matter? Do they work? All right. So this has been a topic of contention for decades, 2 decades. In 2006, 2007, I struggled with this question when I was in my 20s. So it's like, I really want to get to CISSP. I really wanted to get to CISSP at that time. But I had a friend, and he was pretty high up there in government, and he asked me, and I asked him I saw him at a conference, and he was like, and I asked him, should I get to CISSP? And I'll never forget his answer, and his answer, he gave a 30-second pause, and then he asked me the question, do you need it? And it really hit me at that point because the answer was no, I didn't need it. I just wanted the certification for credibility purposes. That was it. That was the only reason why I wanted a certification. Not because I needed it, like if I worked in the Department of Defense, but it was to show credibility. And because it wasn't a need, I did not proceed with the CISSP. And looking back at it, that was absolutely the right decision. So, if you're thinking about cybersecurity certifications, here's the short answer. Certifications will help you. They won't hurt you. And I wrote about this a few years ago. Like, if you're going to do a cybersecurity certification, they're going to help you, but they won't help. They will help you. They won't hurt you. Now, I wrote this piece back in 2020, and I'm gonna. This is something I stand by even today. So it's like now I wrote this in 2020, and my answer has not changed. There is one thing that has changed, though. Certifications can only help you and not hurt you. However, now in the year 2025, going to 2026, certifications won't help you as much as you think. Definitely not as much as before. Here's why. The reason is because the biggest difference between now and 5 years ago is, well, there's a lot more certifications now than in the past. It's not like there was like like a bunch of certifications like there are now. The most famous one is Google certification, which you can get for free on Coursera. Like, it's nice if it's nice, if you do a certification on your own. It's nice to show you that you're serious about it, but it's not that hard, quote unquote, and not that special anymore compared to 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. The other watch out point is certifications, the good ones cost money. So you also have to ask, can you afford one? CISSP is hundreds of dollars to take a couple $100, I forget what the price is now. How much is a CISSP now? I don't know. Oh Jesus, 749, roughly speaking. But then after obtaining the certification, there is an annual maintenance fee of $125. So that is a bit steep. So it really makes sense for CISSP if like you work at a place and they can fund you every year for that. So you got to be careful because some certifications are much more expensive than others. CISSP is also general. You do have to study. There's 10 areas and it's all multiple guess, multiple choice. Um, a lot of former students go for the Security Plus exam. Is it? It's a Security Plus worth it? Yeah, it is for an as for entry level. Okay, 425 in a single attempt. If you want a retake option, it's $800. Okay, so it's a little bit less. It's less expensive than CISSP. But if you so insist that you're serious about security, if you really, really want to and you are pretty sure you're going to be working at a place that's going to require certification, then fine. Okay. There's also the other question is what do you need a certification in? Some certifications have a bigger weight than others. Um, it's uh, the SANS one are very reputable. The CISSP is very reputable. But if you're going to do anything in management, if you want to get a CISSP, a CISO, then a CISSP is generally looked upon as, yeah, it's highly looked upon. So a CISSP, if you want to go into cybersecurity management, it, yeah, it's really, really a good thing. Um, I know that there are certain places that if they're looking for a CISO, a Chief Information Security Officer, they're going to look for someone with a CISSP. The other thing is, and this is kind of, I hate to say this, I have a lot of friends who are female who are in the security field. They said getting a certification has really helped them in a male dominated field to help them stand out and to just show, hey, I'm actually serious about this stuff. So there's that as well. Okay, so what about graduate school? There are a lot of graduate schools now in cybersecurity. So I will say this. Given a choice between someone who went to grad school and here's the answer is it depends. Here is the question is about if you want to go to cyber grad school for cybersecurity, it depends. It really, really, really depends. It's what do you actually want to do in cybersecurity? If you are looking for something really specific, such as reverse engineering and system, if someone like the first question is usually like do I have reservations about graduate school for cybersecurity? The answer is yeah, absolutely I do. And the question I like to ask people is, what do you want to like? Why? What do you want to do with a graduate program in cybersecurity? And if you want to do pen testing, and the answer is no, hell no, absolutely not. If you want to break into systems, no. If you want to learn more about systems, if you want to learn more about reverse engine, like real hardcore reverse engineering stuff, my answer is that yeah, go to University of San Diego, University of California, San Diego. University of California, Santa Barbara, or Carnegie Mellon. If you want to go to cybersecurity because you want to work with policy, my answer is I get it. Okay. If you want to do cybersecurity policy, that isn't something that you can really learn on your own. You really need not like, other than technical skills, you also need to have like a network. Go to Tufts, go to Georgetown. If you want to do cybersecurity and law, that you probably also get a JD, a law degree out of it. My answer is okay. That makes sense. Go to Harvard or go to Boston College because like those programs, like their law school, do have a strong tie-in with cybersecurity. Like if you want to do like so it really really depends. Like if you want to go to cybersecurity just to learn more about cybersecurity, or just to do things like penetration tests, or just to get like to earn a few more zeros on your paycheck, the answer is no, dog. I don't i don't i don't i don't no, I would not do it. How far does an MS and CS alone go? So here's the funny thing. So I get this question all the time. Is like, why do an MS and CS? Here's my take on it. An MS and CS is really valuable, especially if your undergraduate degree was not in computer science. There. So here's the thing, and I will be brutally honest with you when it comes to the MS and CS. That alone will take you a hell of a lot farther than like the really specific, generally speaking, than the specific MS degrees, like the MS in AI or the MS in cybersecurity. And this is one of those cases where the broader it is, the better it is. Because one of the things I don't like about the MS in AI or the MS in cybersecurity is like you're pigeonholed in there. Unless you are so damn sure that you are really want to do AI or really want to do cybersecurity, then fine. Like in MS and CS ain't going away anytime soon. As like the MS and CS is extremely valuable, especially if your undergraduate degree was not in computer science. That's why, like, one of the things about Tufts that, I've thought about is, other schools like systems, like Harvard, they're really good at systems. You want to go to machine learning or AI, go to Carnegie Mellon or Stanford. Robotics, same thing. Like the whole idea of a graduate degree, for years I've always looked at a master's degree as it's very specific. You like drill down into specificity. But some people may not want that. Some people may just want to get a computer science degree uh, as a master's because they didn't do it as an undergrad. And that holds a lot of weight as well. So here's a thought. I'm going to say this up right now on Twitch. Like, who knows if this AI thing is really going to pan out? So if you get it, like, even if that doesn't pan out, in the near future, if the bubble crashes or something, the CS one is still extremely valuable because, look, the future we know is going to be technology. It may or may not be AI, but you're going to have other stuff coming down the pipeline. Like, for example, quantum is going to be an issue, but like quantum. And we don't know what else is going to come down, but it's sure as hell going to be technology. So whether there's AI thing or if there's a pan out or not, you know, the CS, the technical part, is still going to last. That has long lasting value. So that's the thing that bothers me so much is that people don't see that. Is that the future is going to be technology, but everyone only now gets a degree just because of where the jobs and the money are. Well, right now the money is certainly not in tech, and not it's like the jobs are not available in tech right now, and so people are like questioning the degree. It's such short term thinking that they never look for like the longer, like the 10 years, 20 years down the road. And we are 100% sure that the future is going to be tech based. Like CS ain't going to go away. So, given a choice of like graduate degrees, like I always tell people, just get the master's in CS. because at least that's going to cover you for years to come, knowing that the future is sure as hell going to be technologically driven. I mean, you've seen that for the last 30 years. I mean, we've had the internet, we have had .com, we have .com bubble, then you had social networks, then you had mobile phone, then you had crypto and blockchain. That was short-lived. Now you have AI. You're seeing a cycle now. So the MS and CS by far is the more versatile route, especially if you didn't get one in your undergrad. Um, like I only recommend people to go to grad school in cybersecurity in very specific cases. Like if you want to get a master's in cybersecurity because you want to, wow, you want to do hardcore reverse engineering, you want to do hardcore networking, network security research, fine. If you want to get to go do the law and diplomacy, yeah, that's the stuff you got to go to grad school for. But if you're just looking to go to school, like go to school for pen testing, uh, uh, application security, no, no, no. And generally speaking, in the hiring world, given a choice that someone has a master's degree, like given two candidates that are really good, but one candidate just has a master's degree in cybersecurity versus someone who built a home lab or did a few small projects. Generally, the answer is always to stare to look at the person that did the home lab or the small projects. But whatever job, what's the funniest thing is, although all those jobs at the very baseline, they're going to look for a degree in CS. So here's the deal: like the master's in CS is definitely like the way to go. Now, if you don't have the master's and have a CS degree of any way, shape, or form, like undergrad or grad, that closes a lot of doors for you. So the CS does open up way more doors by a lot, and for very good reasons. Because there are some things that like operate like systems, just hard to learn on your own. Yeah. So that's a short on certification and grad school. Certifications is like, um, you know, unless you really need them, like if you work for the DoD, they're gonna help you. They're not gonna hurt you, but they're not gonna help you that much. Graduate school, very specific cases. Like very, very specific cases. Going to grad school for pen testing is no, that's not a waste. That's a waste of your money. That's a waste of your money. Um, what about uh, classes that you take? Classes. Okay. So the funny thing is, and I'm going to see Russell's question is. So I'm going to spill the beans right now, and kind of almost ironic is that Tufts will be offering a master's in cybersecurity, starting in fall 2026. But our curriculum is going to be very interesting because it's going to be okay. You're not going to take all security classes. No, no. It's going to be a mix of both security, 50-50 security and system courses. I will say right now, and for those of you who are really serious about cybersecurity, like there is a direct route of courses that you should take next if you haven't done so already. A lot of people say they like security a lot, but where do you go from here? What course do you take next? My answer is always this. You know, and here is the ultimate irony of the whole thing. If you're really serious about cybersecurity, there are two courses that you got to take next. And they're both not security courses. And they are operating systems and networks. Wait, what? Yep. At Tufts is CS 111, CS 112. Those are the course numbers at Tufts. So you may be like wondering, like, really? Like, Whoa, 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 whoa. Why operating systems and network? They're not explicitly cybersecurity classes. That's correct. The reason why these are ideally the next courses that you should take and not another security course. You already know what security is, or lack thereof. But what security ultimately at the core of cybersecurity is how things work, how systems work. And these are the bread and butter system courses, operating systems and network. Like the core of cybersecurity is how things work. Look at yes, you may never build you may never have the honor of working on Windows or Mac OS or build your own operating system. But you sure as hell are going to be using operating system for anything that has a computational, to have a computing device. Networks are self-explanatory because, that's where all the cool stuff happens. And as you probably have got a gloss in this course, it's more complicated than you think. There's a lot of different layers. So, understanding how things and systems work is the core of cybersecurity. These are the next courses that you got to take. So it's not another like, you know what? It's yeah, you can take network security, but really take networks next. Understand how things work, okay? Or understand how things actually don't work. You're gonna get that in operating systems and in networks. Now, in the year 2026, you also might as well throw in machine learning as well too. Wait, why? The machine learning course, I forget what is it? Is it CS 131? It's Tufts 131? No, 135. Yeah, 135 is machine learning. Well, you may be wondering, like, wait, what? Why machine learning for the next course? The answer is because, as you've seen in this class, you deal with a lot of data. And in cybersecurity, you deal with a lot of data. Packets, logs, you name it. And there's no, and with n number of records, you need to automate all those to really understand what's going on. Take machine learning. Because the movement right now is look, yeah, machine learning is really good for the automation stuff. So these are the courses I would strongly recommend you to take next after taking security. And it's like it's shocking. None of these recommendations are cybersecurity, explicitly cybersecurity classes. Okay, so here is a list of things that I can like. One of my biggest, I think right now we're halfway home in terms of time. So, want to give you a little bit of advice. My only advice for anyone who want have any inkling of trying to get into the cybersecurity field is for anyone who is seriously interested in cybersecurity or who wants to do any of this, I will say this on a personal note. First of all, do I regret being in cybersecurity? And the answer is hell no. Absolutely not. The reason why I do not regret is because, uh, you know what? I'm very grateful for people and the community. Very few people can say that. So, I do not have any regret being in cybersecurity at all. Do I recommend it? Yes, if you're doing it for all the right reasons. I would recommend it if you can do it for all the right reasons. Would I do this? Would I choose cybersecurity again if this was 2004? And the answer is yeah, absolutely. Because I feel for all these years, cybersecurity, like, this is one of those few fields that you absolutely have to reveal the truth and nothing but the truth. You can't fake it till you make it, that kind of a deal. Yeah, and one of the things that I would like is like you to look back at it. If you're to tell me like what strikes me the most is um, you can't fake it till you make it. Other parts of the tech industry. Oh yeah, it's fake it till you make it. You can't do that in security. I was at the Massachusetts State House for a conference back in October, and he said something very striking to me. on this note, which was, I haven't seen him for 5 years, and we used to see each other all the time, like around the state for meetings and conferences. And he said, you know what? We didn't need to catch up and have a conversation. The good ones stay around. Those who are in it for certain agendas and reason, they're no longer with us in the field. So cybersecurity is that field that you just can't fake it till you make it. Um, you just can't. You just can't, because you absolutely have to show. Basically, it's like picture it didn't happen, package or capture it didn't happen. But the one thing that I need to warn you is the biggest thing about cybersecurity, and this is from Rob Graham. What he said was, if you really want to be in cybersecurity, you have to work very hard. You do have to work very hard. You have to keep learning all the time. Like, this is one of those fields that you really do have to keep up with the news, keep up with what's going on, keep on learning, because things change all the time. We have attack surface gotten bigger. So continuous learning is really, if you're serious about cybersecurity, like the two words are continuous learning. You have to keep learning. You have to work very hard. How you do continuous learning? Well, CTFs, home lab, conferences, and people networking. I already talked about grad school, so I'm going to put that at the bottom. Certifications, projects, mentorship, workshops. I'm going to move that. This one I get all the time too. News. Where do I get news from? And we'll also have to pick YouTube. Okay. So, I already talked about certification. Grad school, I also did courses. You already know my thoughts on courses. But let's talk about CTFs. Okay, what about CTF opportunities? CTF, the one that is going on right now, speaking of SANS, and it's flowing pretty well today, the SANS Holiday Challenge. The SANS Holiday Hack Challenge of 2025. This is a CTF. Yes, this is a CTF. I'll paste the link. Hello. There you go. This is a good one. This goes on. This is every year. Although SANS did release this really early this year. They have micro challenges. Yeah, CTF mode. Capstone challenges. Topics. Here's the topics. Pseudo, port discovery, like things that you already have the skills to do this. Nmap basics, firewall basics, proof of concept, quantum computing, reverse engineering, hacking, SQL injection, privilege escalation, and web app pen testing. Instructions, you get a t-shirt. Woo! Now open. Alright. So, you have some time, during the holiday break. Now, go do it. Strongly recommended. Pico CTF. This is the most famous CTF around by Carnegie Mellon. Pico CTF, this is for everyone. It's usually it's open for everyone. They even have a Discord. Okay. They have a whole bunch of them. Like if you're looking for, just look at CTFs. Like Pico CTF is famous. Over the wire, that was your lab number one. Under the wire, I didn't know that. Phone Hub, try Hack Me, Hack the Box. Hack the Box is very like businessy these days, very corporate. But yeah, there's so many like CTF sites. I'll just paste this. Those are CTFs, and these are generally free as well, which is nice. Um, you know, one of the things among our security team at the Wall of Sheep, we say like every year everyone should just do a CTF, but all you need to do is just one challenge. Just do one successful challenge, and that's a huge win because you have to keep your skills sharp. Do you think posting CTF right is publicly important? Okay, that's a really good question. That's a really good. The answer is okay. That question. Do you think posting CTF right publicly is important? The answer to that question, I would say, is a yes. Full stop. Why? Why is that? Why is it that it is so important? I feel it's important to do CTF write-ups. Like if you do a search for CTF write-ups right now, there's a whole bunch of them. They're everywhere. Like this is not new. This is not new. People post CTF write-ups all the time. So what's the point? Why? Why? Why do people do this? Why do people do CTF write-ups and post them on publicly? There's a very simple answer to that. The simple answer is it boils down to one word, which is communications. So what will make or break your career in cybersecurity is your communication skills, written and speaking. That will make or break your career. Look, I've seen I among friends like you can place first, you can be like have every God gifted technical skill, but it won't mean shit if you can't communicate what you did. Full stop. And all my friends had like my friend Russell and I talk about this all the time. It's like you can have every God gifted technical skill, but it does no good if you can't communicate what you did. No. So if you actually go to if you ever go to Hacker News, oh, which was a good one? Did anyone see this one? From yesterday within the last 24 hours. Shit, which one was it? Oh my god, this is so bad. I thought I saved it, but so frustrating. I was here. It was here yesterday. That one. Take a look at this one. Really good read. I reverse and engineered a $1 billion legal AI tool and found hundreds of confidential files. Writing. Writing skills. Like stuff like this. Writing skills. Showcase your writing skills. Huge. Huge for cybersecurity. Like anyone can look at. I don't care if you've used every single pen testing tool, but at the end, what you need to produce is a report. And of course, a reporter's written communications. The written communication skills is so important. If you ever go to like a cybersecurity, like a lab or a think tank or an organization, like say CrowdStrike, you got a CrowdStrike. A lot of what they do is written reports. Yeah, they sell you stuff. My friend Gabby Roncone, here. So one of the best students I've ever had. Want to give a shout out to Gabby. Writing. There she is. This is in 2023. What the fuck? Like a lot of work, a lot of deliverables that you're going to do with cybersecurity is going to be writing. And your writing skills are so important. Like if you're going to do threat intelligence work, writing. So that's why, people showcase CTF write-ups publicly. Really important if you're gonna do you want to showcase your writing skills. So absolutely. So I hope I answered that question very, very in gory details, Ruby. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Because the bulk of the work that you do in cybersecurity is writing. I don't care how good you are with Metasploit. Okay? So one thing is home lab. Home lab is setting up servers and here's the thing about home lab. Reddit Home Lab is like, yeah, you take old computers. Ideally, you take old computers and you build your own network. Why is that? Well, loosely speaking, ooh, this guy. This guy went overboard. Now, don't be intimidated by these pictures because, by the way, there's a lot of used PCs when people build home labs. But why? What's the purpose of a home lab? Why is a home lab important? Why is it looked so high upon? It's a place for you to learn. Like people who build home labs, they build home labs generally speaking for learning purposes. And a home lab is like the playground where you learn things like networking. There you go. And security and administration. Okay? So home labs are there, and help learn things not only actually it's not only about like networking and hardware, but also software as well, such as how do you create web servers or media servers and how you do it securely. Hell, if you even want, you can even set up an email server as you want as well. So the reason for home lab, why is looks so highly upon? It's a playground. It's a place where you do have absolutely have to show hands-on learning opportunities when it comes to networking, and that counts for a lot. And yeah, you see a lot of elaborate shit on like on the subreddit home lab, but nah, starting out these days, you know, oh, what is it? Mini PCs. There was a great article. I forgot what it was. Simple something or something. Here it is. Tiny mini micro. STH. Tiny mini micro. You know, this this is like the seminal piece. And what it's saying is, if you want to build your own home lab, you don't need a whole heck of a lot in terms of money. Um, So this article was written in 2020, but remember what happened, and there was a real good reason, that was a good time. At that time, people were working from home, everyone's living at home, everyone's sheltered in. But, at that time, I don't know if you folks remember, it was fucking hard to get things like the Raspberry Pi. For years, the Raspberry Pi, which is like a cheap computer, the Raspberry Pi, this was like the thing, like people were getting to like build like simple computers. The problem is you had two problems. The biggest problem is at that time in 2020, they were hard to get. Like they kept on running out because of supply, like global supply chain issues. So this is problem number one. The second, so of course, the other thing is that they're underpowered. Thing is, these little PCs, they float around everywhere. They're like everywhere, and they're pretty decent power. You can get one for like $50, which is probably right now like cheaper than a Raspberry Pi. And they have really good computational power, decent memory. Let's not get into cost price of memory these days. But this is like a really good article. Um, and like, how do you get started to build a home lab using just one of these things? You can just you get your hands on one of these things, just one. You can build a pretty damn good home lab, a good home network that you can install like a whole bunch of virtual machines on there. And if you want to actually build a cluster later on, you sure as hell can do that. So it's like you can about like $50 to get one and build like a home lab to have like a whole bunch of virtual machines running on them. They're really dirt cheap. They're easy to find these days. So we're not asking you to spend like back 15 years ago, like people were spending like thousands of dollars to build like a home lab. A home lab was one time a very expensive hobby. Not anymore. But if you want hands-on skills, like how to do hands-on networking, highly recommend. Highly recommend that you do a home lab. Highly recommend it. And it doesn't cost a whole heck of a lot anymore. Like they float around everywhere. Really good thing to do to learn more about security, more about networking, more about hardware, and even software on your own. Conferences and people networking. All right, I'm going to make this one very simple. The best investment I ever made for myself was 2006. Back in 2006, I paid my way out to go to DEF CON, the infamous security conference that parents tell their kids not to go to because, you know, and you bring computational device to the conference, it get hacked or broken into. Back in the early 2000s, 2010s, that was generally true. Not anymore. So, if you're really serious, one of the best investments that you can make, um, a little bit more expensive now, pay your way out, go to DEF CON. Meet up with people just like you. I would say, yeah, hello, fucking. Next one will be August 6th to 9th in 2026. How can I get the previous DEF CON? DEF CON 33 was at Las Vegas Convention Center. So my first one was, I think, 14. Yep, that was my first one. This was my first one. August 4th to 6th, 2006 at the Riviera Hotel and Casino. Paid my way out for there. Why is this so important? Why did this? Little did I know that it would set my career up for many years to come. This is where I met friends for life. This is where I got got the education that I did not get in cybersecurity. This was the place where I got the hands-on skills I did not get. This is where I learned Wireshark. Yeah, it was worth every penny. It was the best investment I can make. I still go to DEF CON each and every year, not so much for the technical content. I haven't gone to a talk in almost a decade, but it's really to meet up with old friends. and also to talk to people in the hallway. One of the things that you'll see in later in your career is sometimes the people that you meet out in the hallway or in a like at a conference, they become a good friend. They become a good colleague. And I sure as hell you will learn so much more from people at the hallway than in a conference talk. I remember my third DEF CON I was there, I was on tour at the DEF CON network and the guy was actually trying to learn from me. It made me feel good that I was able to teach something to someone. And we do this all the time. And this is why we go to DEF CON is not only to meet up with people but also learn from each other, teach each other. Like likely due to yeah, like firewall that people actually start to care a little bit about security. So it's not always bad. It's like not always bad, but yes, like the modern sandboxing, that stuff does help. Like Google and Apple realize that security has to come first. You don't want to be like Microsoft and don't care, and of course they have that reputation. Okay, so DEF CON is a bit expensive because it is out in Las Vegas, but there's a lot of little ones out there. Let's say if you're in Ohio. B-Sides, Ohio. There it is, B-Side Columbus. Now, B-Sides is a international organization. B-Side Security. The security B-Sides, it's a series of, security conferences. They're much smaller, they're localized, and really, to make a long story short, is that B-Sides are like what DEF CON used to be. Back in the days, like you only had a couple thousand people that go to DEF CON. Now it's like 30,000. And people find that like, man, that's way too many people, way too overwhelming. So B-Side feel like B-Side feel like the ye good old days of like the early 2000s. Yeah, here it is. Due to an overwhelming presentation submission to B-Side, the Black Hat 2000, Black Hat is the other big cybersecurity conference in Vegas, but it's mostly for suits and corps. It's like a couple $1,000s to attend. I've never been to a Black Hat before. I've never been because I'm not paying that much money to go there. The rejected presentation was presented to a smaller group of individuals, and hence that's how B-Side was born. But there's B-Sides everywhere. There was a B-Side Boston. I don't want to get into that conversation. B-Side Las Vegas is on the same week as DEF CON, so it goes B-Side Las Vegas first on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Black Hat is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. DEF CON is the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's like 1 week in Vegas. Like some people go to all three. I can only do two at the most. But there's B-Side security chapters all over the world, like B-Side Hong Kong. B-Side Singapore? Yep, B-Side Singapore. B-Sides Hong Kong? They gotta have one. Yep, they do. B-Sides Hong Kong. B-Sides Cambridge, Massachusetts. My friend runs this. B-Side Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's a one-day thing. I think to get in, the cost is not a couple $100. It's like either free or $20 at the most. B-Sides Rochester. They're going to be in March 2026 at RIT. They have call for papers and call for talks open. And of course, B-Side Columbus. That is a kick-ass logo. September 18th and 19th. The full conference details. 6+ speak. Oh, this looks like a one-day thing. There's been so much AI stuff. B-Sides Cleveland? Yep, B-Side Cleveland. That is going to be October. That's going to be like in October of 2026, looks like. That should be coming up. B-side Florida. Yep, B-sides Orlando. That's going to be in September. So these, like this is, how much is it to attend? I don't think it's even that much. It's like, usually it's like $20 to $50 at the most, which is a far cry from like couple hundred to thousands of dollars at uh, like if you want to go to the big ones. I've never been to RSA before. The big one that's going to be coming up very soon, the big conference is RSA conference. This is going to be in San Francisco, 2026, March 23rd to 26th. Oh. Call for papers, call for submissions. Oh shit, it's already closed. Damn. Oh, too bad. Yep, we're out of that. I thought about doing one of these, but nope. So if you are looking to give a talk at a conference, by the way, that can set up your career for a very long time. B-side Las Vegas has a track called Proving Ground. Proving Ground, and I was involved, I was a mentor this year, 2025. What B-side Proving Ground program is a track to give first-time speakers, and like new students, the opportunity to work with seasoned industry professionals to improve public speaking skills, presenting the research on the stage. So it's a 4-month thing. It's very little work for the mentor. For the speaker, it's like, you meet maybe like once every 2 weeks during the summertime, and then you give a talk at a large audience in B-side Las Vegas. So the talks are always like 20 minutes max. 25 minutes you're scheduled for. So this is a great opportunity if you are looking to do a talk in cybersecurity and present it to an audience. This could set up your career really, 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 really well. I've been a mentor for a bunch of times, and you do get admissions to B-sides. You don't have to pay I think B-side Las Vegas only do sponsorship now for tickets. You get a program, a T-shirt, a badge. It's a great deal. So if you're serious about cybersecurity, you want to give to the computer, set up your career, it's a great track. So yeah, conferences. It's really the hack. It's really the or not a hack, but a cheat code to really, really boost your career and networking. We're already talking about what 2026 is going to be like because the market looks so bad. Okay, so I only got 5 minutes. So projects, workshops, news, mentorship. I talked a little bit about mentorship. When it comes to B-side Las Vegas, the Proving Ground, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has a mentorship program for undergrads only in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts on workforce development. The mentorship program. This is for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Each and every semester, we do a mentorship program where we have students all over the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Doesn't matter if you're public school, private, or like you go to like a community college. It's a direct mentorship. You work with someone in industry. You do a project 1 semester, and then you do a presentation, a virtual showcase of your work. We have a lot of tough students involved each and every year, like 3 or 4 each and every semester. That's a lot. But yeah, it's a real mentorship program to get people interested in cybersecurity or to learn more. So, which really leads up to projects. So, winter break is coming up. Winter break is coming up, and my recommendation to everyone usually is, 4 weeks. It's a great time to learn one thing. One thing. One thing. Not two, not three. Just do one small project during winter break to learn something because it really could set up your career and your track really, really well. My story, um, after fall of 1999, I think I got C's in all my classes. I kid you not. So I had 3 4 weeks, you know, downtime, and I used that winter break to learn about server-side programming, which directly led me to get my second internship at Harvard um, in spring 2000. Yeah. So I always think, if I didn't take advantage of the time that I had for, if I didn't take advantage of the time that I had, where would I be? And I'm very grateful I took advantage of that winter break in winter of 1999. So what projects can you do? So this I did write about this. Um, you know, what projects can you do? And I haven't updated this list in a long time. Technical projects that you can do in learning cybersecurity. Create a virtual machine and VirtualBox. These ones I don't recommend anymore because, virtualization is like kind of heavy. And these days people use Docker. Build a web server in the cloud, still recommended. Build a static website using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Amazon S3, still recommend. Create a blog using WordPress, yeah, so you understand the structure of a WordPress uh, blog. How about this one? How about build a honeypot in the cloud? Heh, though you can sure do that. Now I've done that too many times. That's a fun one. I like that one. Build a Pi hole using a Raspberry Pi. I think I should actually update this article soon, and it's not using a Raspberry Pi, but using like a cheap PC. Build a native mobile app using geolocation. Write a program that uses a third-party API. Build a blog using a work for like an application framework like Flask or Django. The whole point of these projects, do one of these projects, and the whole thing is notice that each and every project is like you're building something, you're writing something, you're creating something. No penetration testing, no ethical hacking, no social engineering, and the whole thing is you understand how things work. There is a way of thinking which is called build it, break it, fix it. You know, build something. More often than not, it's not ethical hacking or that's going to get your hard job, get your no. Here, more often than not, from Marcus Carey said, more often than not, is all you know is ethical hacking, open source intelligence, social engineering, it's going to be very hard. It no longer exists. It's going to be very hard to get your first job in cybersecurity. And I very, very much believe that. I very much adamantly say, yeah, that's true. Because again, as something I said earlier, cybersecurity is understanding how things work. And all of these projects is understanding how things work. Okay? No penetration testing, just build something. Just build something. Understand how it is. News. So people always ask me where do I get my cybersecurity news from? Really my go-to is Hacker News, even up to this day. It really is Hacker News. This is the starting point. This is one of the places this is one of the few sources I look every single day. It's not just security, but just everything else, like even AI stuff that may have implications to security. Hacker News is like my go-to. The other go-to is, believe it or not, what I would also recommend, the Reddit sub on cybersecurity or hacking. Get you a lot of motivation there. Bleeping Computer is also good. And a lot of times, like Hacker News will like have a lot of references to Bleeping Computer. Oh, University of okay, I gotta read that one. Bleeping Computer is great. There's a lot of like cybersecurity and ransomware stuff. You can find it on here. So these are like the three go-to are um, Hacker News, Reddit, Bleeping Computer. Back in the days, like I was like we were looking for um, Twitter was used to be the place, but everyone left. A lot of people left that place. It became for years it was like a hangout place for security professionals. Then it just became a cesspool. Okay. YouTube. Anyone, what YouTubers do I recommend? I like Network Chuck. Network Chuck is good. He's a friend of ours. Network Chuck is good. The other one that is good is John Hammond. John Hammond. John Hammond. You know what? I'll paste a link of these. There you go, Rafa. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think you beat me to it. John Hammond. He's a friend of ours. And Network Chuck. Definitely recommend those guys. Definitely recommend them. That's on YouTube. What else? What other workshops out there? There's actually a bunch of them. One thing I do like in terms of free workshops, Malware Unicorn has a bunch of workshops on reverse engineering. So I'll paste that link in. The stuff is free. The other one I would also really recommend is Portswigger. Portswigger's Web Academy. Free online training. These are the Portswigger built burp. All free. And you do exercises on things like, even do web LLM attacks now, no SQL injection, which you probably have seen. SQL injection, cross-site scripting, 30 labs. Yeah. You've seen this before. These are free. This is not going to cost you a couple thousand, like thousands of dollars, like SANS. I mean, if you can spend the money on SANS, that more power to you. But that's quite a lot still. I do again. I'm in a ROM. And Sneak Learning. They have a lot of developer lessons. The biggest difference about Sneak is focused definitely a lot more on application security. Like, if you're going to use Web Academy as like more web app stuff, but zero trust, you can't go wrong with either one. Okay, you can't go wrong with Sneak or OWASP Top 10. So these are free learning opportunities. Sneak and Portswigger are really good ones. So I think I covered so yeah, it's there we are. Well, we're out of time. We're way over. It's been a fun year. It's been fun, folks. We could have gone on and on and on and on forever today, but yeah, these are some of the big items like CTF. We covered a lot today in terms of where you go from here. Look, I think I made matters pretty fucking bad for all of you. Like, this is a lot. There's so much stuff here. But here's the thing. Yes, it's overwhelming, and this unfortunately is a big problem in cybersecurity. All of this is overwhelming. There's a lot of different options, but at the same time, there's no excuse to not learn something. Like you do have to have to continuously learn, and there are many options out there for you. If you want me to tell you where to start, do a little project over winter break. You know, yeah. So it's overwhelming, but there's also no excuse to the information's out there to not do anything. Let's do something. Do a project over winter break. Learn something, and that's it, folks. We're done. This is season 11. Signing off. It's been fun. Thank you so much for your viewership. Thank you so much for everything this semester. It's been awesome. Thank JL to be back. Thank you guys so much. Not a goodbye. We'll see you in spring of 2026. We'll see you in the new year. We don't talk. If I don't talk to you, yes, wishing everyone happy holidays to each and every one of you. Wishing a happy holidays. Um, so that's it. Signing off for 2025. Take care, all. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks, Rafa. Thanks, Luby. Thanks, Kevin. Thank Wiser Universum. Thank you. Thanks, guys. You guys were awesome. Take care.